Hi guys, and welcome back to another Show on the Buffalo video. Hope you've all been well. And today we are having a little bit of a silly video, as we are going to be playing Mad Hatters whilst, or having a mad party whilst playing Mad Party, sort of thing. So I think that's generally quite strong enough for 40% vodka. So let's have a little discussion about the deck. So Mad Party is a deck that is based on doing damage times the amount of Pokemon in your discard pile with the attack Mad Party. Hence why I'm having a bit of a Mad Party with Vodka and Coke while I'm doing the recording. And so you basically ramp up damage as fast as possible. It's a one prize card attacker deck, so you're hopefully trying to avoid putting your enemies down. They're just in there basically to really push for a huge knockout. This deck easily beats other one prize card attackers because how low maintenance it is for what it is. It's basically the new sorry, give me a sec. It's the new Night March of the, oh my god, that's strong. The new Night March of the standard format. So I have built it so that potentially it's built to make sure that if you go first, you get as many as your Sinistee Pokemon down as fast as possible. I don't like the fact that it's got 30 HP. It makes it ridiculously susceptible to getting donked really early because of Zigzagoons if you don't get enough down. But as you can see, my build is to make it the most efficiently as possible, to get down these multiple Sinistees by the end of turn 1, and then when it comes back to your turn 3, you push through by trying to drop all these onto the board, and you've got your intense amount of draws. And this deck plays Hapu as one of its effectively a draw supporter, which looks at the top 6 cards of your deck, you put 2 into your hand and discard the rest, which is also the reason why I'm playing a higher amount of cards that you usually wouldn't. For example, Boss's Orders, and I'm playing a slightly higher energy account of 3 of Triple Acceleration energy as opposed to 2 that some players play. Like some people play this deck with just 6 energy, and I don't feel that's enough, especially with all the discarding that you tend to do in this deck. Because you're so easily knocked out in return, in the one prize cards attacker exchange rate, you need 6 energies to attack with. So what with discarding some occasionally, and hopefully your opponent missing knockout 7 should usually be enough. Other than that, we've made it to make it as turbo as possible. To get those Sinstees down turn 1, and to get all your Mr. Rhymes in the discard turn 1, because that's the only difficult part, getting these into the bin. We have Acrobikes, Great Balls, plenty of discard outlets, and the 2 Dedenne as well. Other than that, the only one-offs that I have in this deck is a one-off Chaotic Swell, because it comes to a point where cards like Black Market and Wondrous Labyrinth are extremely detrimental to this deck, because the whole point of it is that you have a higher exchange of prizes versus what they get off you compared to what you get off them for taking a knockout on them. So we have Chaotic Swell to get rid of Black Market and Wondrous Labyrinth. It's also good to play down early against the Pikarom, because it forces them to use a Quick Ball on getting the Marshadow that discards stadiums, as opposed to a Quick Ball that's usually used to grab Tapu Koko, for example, or a Dedenne, or a Crowbar, or a Pikarom, whatever the case may be. So a one-off Chaotic Swell is a must-have in this deck. I would rather have 3 Sky Pillars, because this deck has an auto loss to Dragapult, but the more that Eternatus comes into the meta and becomes in favour, Dragapult is entirely dropping off the ladder, and therefore, I'm just trying to test this deck at its maximum capacity, without having to worry about Dragapult being an auto loss effectively. And yeah, you've got Professor Research in this in this list as well. The one of Air Balloon, again, I would rather have more than one, but there just really is no space. The only thing that I could take out to make space is just a one copy of Dedenne, but then when you one of its prize, when you really need it, it's awful. And the same goes for Air Balloon, realistically. Air Balloon is only in this deck for when you start either this Dedenne or Dedenne GX as your starters, because you want to be attacking, especially if you're going second, you want to be attacking straight away. So the one of Air Balloon is necessary, which with your research and Dedenne for your opening turn, plus all the thin through cards and the acrobikes and the great balls and all your discard outlets, you should easily be able to find it. But so anyway, that's the deck, and oh, don't know why it's doing that. No changes to be made, so we're just going to go straight onto the ladder. Oh. And we have reached our goal, apparently. Yeah, full art Fabber. Yeah, I was literally just playing this deck before I left the house before. So anyway, time to start game one. Right, so moving into game one with Zombie Bomb 258. And we get to go first, which is what this deck's built for. Not have hands like these, but so be it. If I find a bunch of other Dedennes or Mr. Rhymes off these, I'll be dropping them because I'll be using Dedenne. I also want them out the deck. Thin through as much as possible. It's unfortunate to lose a Poltergeist, but these things happen. Get a Sinisty. And go Dedenne. We may be against the Eternatus, not entirely sure. Starting with that Dedenne isn't so bad in this instance. So we're not going to be Boss Swords or in the next turn. What we really need to find next turn is the Air Balloon, but I may just attach here anyway and pass, because we have Poltergeist, Mad Party and such, so with those 8 cards should be able to find a Penelope and a Twin Energy, and for whatever reason my opponent concedes. So we will see you for game 2. So for game 2, Vaporeon Max H, and his this extremely strong vodka coke is genuinely knocking me sick, but Mad Party requires a Mad Party. Apparently will probably require some mad misplays at some point due to an insurgence of alcohol, but such is life. I'm going to start both Penelbes because I don't know whether or not I'm against Eternatus, and if that is the case, they can easily draw 4 Zigzagoons from the hand with 4 Super Scoop Ups. That would make for a very horrible time. Don't know why my screen's moved. There we go. Sorry about that. Minor blip in my recording. What are you doing? It's okay, don't worry about it, it's fine. I've currently got my missus and one of our friends around. They are watching Jackass. I'll show you them over there. And the missus is drinking a virgin mocktail because she is pregnant, and it's a virgin pina colada and whatever Emily is drinking. Emily, say hi. So plenty. You don't look like you've melted at all. Sorry, my girlfriend likes to be strange. So we're not going to be boss ordering this this game. This is one of those ones that where you attempt to prove how aggro the deck can be. So we need this, and hopefully we can hit a research or something of the sort. We do need 4 attackers in the discard pile. So currently at 2. We'll be at 3 after the Dene, and maybe if we find another one and a Hapu, we will take the first knockout in a list of many. We find neither, but thankfully I think that is the 4th one. Yes, it is, and we do take. That was an awful choice of things to do. I'll just discard this. We need another Synesty because we need some draw support next turn, which means unfortunately we are having to lose a Poltergeist, which is fine because as long as you get the first knockout in the race against these sort of decks, because at some point they're going to have to put Oricorio down and all the rest of it. Like, they'll take my Dedenne, fine, so be it. But these are forced to find Welder every turn just to even pull off an attack that actually does damage. So that is totally fine by me. And we do, thankfully, find another Mad Party guy off the rip. We have lost no twin energies. This is going to be the first one. So I feel confident enough that having seen 1 Hapu out of 4 and no researchers, and I'm more than halfway through my deck, we should be able to find one off the double ability of the T-Break, which again is what Trade for Zoroark was, but only for the Mad Party deck. So that's what eventually would make this deck better than Night March. That you have so much potential in a Night March deck, but a Night March deck that has a built-in draw support. It's what makes it crazy good. We're gonna Great Ball first. Get this. I should hopefully never have to put that in play since I've got 2 Denies in play already. We will Quick Ball. And there's no Denies left in the deck, which is fine. We'll get another Synesty down since there's another Poltergeist in the deck. And hopefully we will not hit it off this T-Break, because that would be sad. Yeah, we're seriously not bothered about boss orders so much. So it's Penelope. We should have plenty of attackers. We lost 1, got 1 in the active, it means there's 2 to go. But we do need to hit energy. And there's the Hapu that I talked about. So we are going to go here first. Search through the Poltergeist. And we will Chaotic Swell, and we will Hapu and find out whether or not we do hit the energy, which we don't. Great. So I think we'll take these 2. That seems right. And there's no point in touching, so my opponent gets to take 1 more knockout. This is where things get dicey, because missing that energy is what makes this dicey. Energy retrieval for 1. I don't know if he's going to play Welder. Oh, no boss's orders. This is where things definitely get dicey. I don't imagine he plays more than one of them, but he might play a Great Catcher. He's lucky to have seen that so early on. But the Chaotic Swell in play limits his options in regards to what he can get back and such. So we're down 2 Great Catchers. 2 boss orders, sorry. The other thing is as well, because he's got to welder 3 energies onto these attackers, he's got to find all his energy retrievals and all the rest of it. Take knockouts. Then he had no benefit from Beastbringer either, which is totally fine by me. This time I cannot risk not hitting the twin energy. So, as we've got enough draw supporter, we top deck the drop thing anyway. I don't think that playing Hapu is a good idea. Yeah, it's just really not. So, we're just going to Mad Party for knockout. Play it slow and steady. If he reset stamps me and I draw the Hapu, then I'll play the Hapu. This is fine. At some point, he's going to have to put that in play. That's what I was waiting for. Because depending on what we can find off Great Ball, and on whether or not the other boss order is in the deck, which it more than well could be. I want to get rid of this first before potentially going for a boss's orders. So we'll do this. Get this. T-Breakaway, Mr. Ryan. I did not see whether or not the other boss orders was in the deck, but I'd fight for knockout. My opponent's not seeing many great balls, so it's very likely that he'll play one after this. Don't know why he didn't play one there. Looked like he just discarded one. Have I seen that right? Yeah, he did. I don't know what that's about. Maybe he's prized a whole bunch of Blacephalons. Maybe he's trying to piece together the ability to Welder and Great Catcher in the same turn, plus have a switch for this, and 4 energy. Cormorant, of course. So, yeah, and he probably has the 3 energy. Don't see why I wouldn't. Yeah. Oh, people that do that, he probably had the other. He had the other energy in hand. We've seen him grab them before. Yeah, don't be that player, basically. Right, so that went bad. It was just a combination of whiffs and stuff like that. Doesn't usually happen with this deck, but we'll see you for game 3. So we are back for game 3. You okay? What are you doing? Okay. And we are have an awful hand. Yeah, this deck definitely needs a second air balloon. Or maybe 2 U-turn boards instead, because the Mad Party deck list that I seen just a second ago was how I eventually want to get this list. It was just extremely linear. This is a little bit more sort of semi-techy, but we could possibly have turn 1 KO here if we play our cards right. So see what we can get. We don't know if the other Dedenne is in deck, so we are gonna Hapu away Quick Ball away this for this. If we can get it, let's have a look. Can we get the air balloon? No, we cannot. I mean, it doesn't really matter the other one. Dig a little bit deeper. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. Again, because with the Denny in, this could be a very detrimental game. And we could not find the air balloon. Amazing. So, we will settle for this. And get rid of one of these. We have no idea what our opponent is playing, apart from that they're playing some sort of water box deck, possibly, probably Inteleon of some sort. Blastoise and Piplup. Not seen this card in a very long time. The unfortunate thing about this deck is you don't really hit a lot of things for weakness. And in all honesty, I might just Boss Swords in this, because this can attach to the bench anyway, and if he doesn't charge up anything this turn, I am just going to Boss Swords in that and knock it out. Providing that he doesn't get another Frostmoth down as well. Boss Swords. Don't know why I did that, because either way, can only retreat one way, and that's with a Twin Energy at some point. We're already down 2. And right on cue is the air balloon. And how many do we have in here? 4, so we need 5 in there. Can get a Poltergeist, no, but we can get a Mr. Rhyme that we want out of the deck. Very much so. As my opponent's dead drawing, we're totally going to take advantage of that. Get nothing. Take a knockout. Mad Party. Bye-bye Frostmoth. And that's what the air balloon's in here for, although you do need 2. The worst thing about this deck is not being able to... is when you prize too many of your attackers, because it means you can't hit high enough numbers in the matchups where it matters, which is very unfortunate when it happens. My opponent desperate to get out of his dead drawing situation. T-time. T-break or whatever. Trying to sound like I'm cool when I'm not. I'm close. So, just hit this. Hit some semi-heavy numbers, because we don't know if he plays Big Charm or not. So, he needs to hit at least half his health to make sure that we can guarantee knockout next turn. Because what this does is means that even if he gets a Big Charm onto it, we hit 160 next turn, which unfortunately for him it doesn't matter, because we hit 140 then, which means we hit 160 now. not a protect. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about the heal factor actually. So we have a smaller road ahead of us, not a massive one. It doesn't really matter too much. So we'll just grab this Dedenne out the deck and plough ahead on. So we're hitting 160. It's currently on 180. We'll get this. Should have played the acrobatics first. No worries. This. With that. It's fine. And yeah, you can see the writing on the wall. So it's a pretty standard deck. I'm just going to go back to the deck list. I thoroughly encourage don't drink and attempt to win games on the ladder, unlike me. But as the whole point of it is called Mad Party, I just thought, you know what, why not have some fun? An absolute vodka is absolute balling. I mean, 40% justice. Anyway, so if you're interested in making this deck, what I would consider doing is replacing one of these for a Great Catcher, and replacing these two for Evolution Incenses, and I'm not entirely sure what the fourth one would be, but I would maybe drop the Dedenne count just to take away the allure of putting two down, because it's when you play two that you're usually in trouble. But at the same time, it has its great benefits as well. So, but I'd take out a Dedenne possibly for either another energy or a second air balloon, or even swap the two air balloons once you put them in for two U-turn boards, because no Pokemon you have more than one retreat. The only reason I use Air Balloon personally is because I know Eternatus players and Vikavolt players, which are the two biggest decks in the format at the moment, both play Absol, and therefore Air Balloon is a lot more effective at doing what you need it to do than U-turn board is. So anyway, that's everything for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you consider trying to build a deck and whatnot. I will be covering, I think, Vikavolt Item Lock next, as that's the other deck that I've got built, as well as Centiskorch VMAX. I know there's a lot of videos on that already, but I'm going to go for a more old school turbo aggressive approach, as you'll see when I do the video anyway. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, drop a like just down below and subscribe to the channel, and that's everything from me. Thank you all for watching, and peace.